A new CNBC SurveyMonkey poll found that about 7 out of 10 workers are concerned about being able to fully retire. CNBC's senior personal finance correspondent Sharon Epperson is here with us right now to break it all down. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Becky. You know, market volatility may explain some of the concerns of many Americans. This survey of more than 6,600 adults, including about 2,600 retirees and 4,000 adults working full-time or part-time in early August, found a number of findings about how people feel about their retirement. The majority acknowledged that reaching retirement may not happen like it did for their parents. 8 out of 10 workers, 82%, say achieving a comfortable retirement is much harder or somewhat harder to achieve. But looking at their own futures, the CNBC poll found 44% say they are cautiously optimistic about their ability to meet their retirement goal. 27% are realistic about that happening. 21%, though, are doubtful, and 9% say they believe it's never going to happen. With the decline in traditional pensions, rising health care costs, and people living longer, many experts that we spoke to say rethinking retirement is the new reality, and it may mean working at least part-time in your later years. The CNBC poll found most workers, 69%, are concerned about being able to afford to stop working or retire fully. The highest percentage of concern was among millennials and Gen Xers. And even among retirees, more than a quarter, 28%, say they are currently working to supplement their retirement funds, either because they want to or they have to. Joe Coughlin, who heads the Age Lab at MIT, tells me that retirement itself is being retired. He says often within a year or two, retirees find out that they're either needing more money or they need to do something, and so they go back to work in some capacity. You can read a lot more about the key findings in this CNBC Your Money Retirement Survey on CNBC.com.
I guess the good news in that is that larger percentage of the folks who go back to work in retirement are doing it because they want to. Good news, maybe because we're living longer, we're in better shape than we used to be. In terms of the concerns people have, though, I guess inflation probably has a big part to do with that, too.
Inflation has a real big part to play in it, sure, but also people are looking at what am I going to do during this time that I'm retired? What we found in the survey also was that when we asked people what ideally they wanted to do in retirement, they talk about travel, they talk about spending time with family, doing their hobbies. When they say realistically, do you think you're going to be able to spend a lot of time doing that? That number comes down. Yeah. So the idea of what are you going to do just on any given Tuesday?
Right, you're going to be bored.
You never know. Right, right. So you may end up consulting or picking up some type of freelance work, pursuing a business that you want, an idea that you have. So.
Probably good in some scenarios. Probably helps keep you active and with it, too.
Yeah. But it was interesting how many people were talking about working in retirement and also thinking about whether or not that's a reality for them, given their health concerns and other things that come up.
A lot of people worry that they're never going to be able to stop working and fully retire. So what steps can actually be taken to make it easier to meet your retirement goals now?
Well, one of the things that people, of course, we always talk about maximizing your savings and the tax advantage accounts. Looking at those Roth accounts even more closely, I think, is really important for people to do because the money that is in those accounts, since it's after tax, is actually your retirement savings. I think people get a little bit surprised when they look at their 401k and then realize that actually money is taken out for taxes, so it may not be all there for them. The other thing that I think it's really important to do is to make sure that you're monitoring your expenses as they're rising. As we're getting into raising our families, saving for retirement, saving for college education, all of those things that come up, it's important to do that. But the main thing that people don't do is estimate their retirement income. How much are you actually going to have in retirement income? What is your Social Security going to look like? You can do that estimate right there on the website. And then finally, test drive your retirement. I think this is a brilliant idea that many of the advisors have talked about, which is figure out where you might want to live, take some time off. When you take time off, go to that place and do what you would do, not just sightseeing and that kind of thing, but how would you live your life?
What would real life look like?
Real life look like. And then what would those real life expenses and what the real life budget look like, from your housing to your transportation to food, and see how that would work and if you could stick to it.